Now, people tend to freak out when Valve doesn't release any updates to CS2, but for the majority of the game's lifespan, it's been upholded by the community, and when Valve adds things, specifically weapons, they don't do too hot. We got the M4A1S, not bad, but pretty overpowered. We got a pistol that was an SMG, then we got a pistol that was an AWP, and then we got an SMG that was a pistol. And after those four, they've just stopped, maybe for the better. But it has been almost 10 years. August 2018 was the last time we received a new weapon. Of course, that was the MP5SD. And a lot has happened since then. Back then, we only had one generation of gloves. We've gotten 3 more generations of gloves. We've gotten new knives. We've had like 5 battle passes. Now we have the Armory pass. So why haven't we gotten a new weapon? Do we need one? Are we getting one? Could we get one? Let's take a look. Welcome back to Debate, a series where we just speculate, flexing our brain muscles for the sake of it. Inventory review went pretty good last night. We will continue because I didn't hit all of the inventories on Twitch. Shout out Wumbo. This dude has the best inventory I've ever seen, period. This dude has every single rare skin in the game. Modern Hunter, Splash Jam, Medusa, Snake Camo. He has every fucking sick skin. Awesome inventory. Go check that shit out in your free time. It's a true connoisseur's inventory. He won, so I sent him a P2000 granite marbleized hamster pattern because that's the only thing that I think that would not spit on his inventory. Regardless, let's get back to the video. Also, I have a Google Doc or Google form if you want to submit your own debate topics. Feel free. I do read them. Most of them are stupid, so that's why they don't get put on the series. But if you make a good one, I will use it. So let's start. Let's build a case for a new weapon coming into the game. Because there is a few things that point in this direction, or at least create the atmosphere or landscape for putting a new weapon in the game. One is going to be the timeline, right? We have a lot of things in the works, allegedly, for the month of July, end of June, and that is going to start, but it's not limited to really at all the AK Aphrodite leaving the Armory, right? The other shit's been on last chance for 2 months. We don't know when that's leaving. I imagine they'll leave somewhat close together in terms of time. Now, the Aphrodite leaving doesn't really have anything to do with it, but it does have to do with the timeline, right? A lot of things are lining up here. It looks like the Armory is going to rotate at least with the Aphrodite in terms of like a week in, a week out, plus or minus. But it would be a good time to capitalize, right? People are playing the game, people are watching the major, you have more eyes on the game itself. But if they haven't updated the Armory, they're getting rid of the Aphrodite, one could expect the stuff to drop with the new season, right? When season 4 dropped, we did get 2 collections, Harlequin and Achroma, and we got the AK Aphrodite that day. So maybe they're setting up for a new pattern to be in rotation, possibly. Maybe they just is a one-time thing, who knows? But we are overdue in terms of content, and why would they wait for season 5 to do this? If anything, it makes more sense to rotate in the way in which they did. Season starts in January, you have a mid-season Armory rotation that was supposed to be in April. Well, that's what it was last year, but this year obviously not. Then you have July, which is when you get the new season, and then we have October, November for the Armory rotation, and we just go on a 3-month cycle. It's a good way to break up the stuff. It's a good way to keep things fresh when nothing's really changing all too much, right? There's nothing really to change in Counter-Strike. The game's been the same. Nothing's going to change. But since we went off that seemingly nice rotation, right? It's kind of good to have everything come out every 3 months or so. Maybe we're waiting for season 5 for a reason. We did get a pretty odd update though in March instead of the Armory update, and that was the reload update. If you remember that, it caused quite a bit of panic, and I believe was one of the biggest catalysts in making the market fall over the last 2 months or so. On March 19th, Valve changed fundamentally how the bullets work in the game. I'm sure you know by now, I'm sure you've forgotten by now, but if you shoot 10 bullets and you have 10 bullets left in your magazine and you reload, you lose those 10 bullets. They don't go to your reserve ammunition anymore like it used to in this game and pretty much every other shooter game you've ever played ever before. Now, at the beginning, people really overestimated the impact this update would have. The M4A4 was definitely the biggest benefactor of this update itself. The M4A1S definitely sees less usage now, although it's quite more balanced than we initially anticipated it to be. Same thing with the USP P2000. You pretty much still don't see any P2000s, right? You still see MP9s. You still see all of these guns that you thought were going to disappear. So in hindsight, the update wasn't really too bad. If anything, it does help get rid of that kill, reload, kill, reload, kill, reload pattern, which is always a good thing to get out of the player's system anyway. It's not a bad thing. It did, however, hurt the... Skins.com is the newest sponsor on our channel. They have just released a P2P trading platform looking to compete with the best players in the space. If you don't want to wait that long, they do have an insta-sell feature on the site in which the rates are the best I've seen, just straight up. When the market is down, everything is on sale. And with the deals you're getting on skins.com, you could start your position basically up 20 to 25%. Try out skins.com and be a part of the future of CS2 skin trading. Probably the most, right? There isn't really a replacement for the AWP, right? The M4A1S got hurt. People used the M4A4. The people that couldn't get used to the USP with less bullets effectively moved on to the P2000, but there isn't really a replacement for the AWP, right? It still has the same amount of bullets in the magazine 5, but if you shoot 3 and you want to go retake a site, you're probably going to reload, and now you have to get rid of your other 2 bullets, meaning that you're only going to have an extra 5 bullets beyond the ones that you already have. So in terms of capacity, like, you got fucked by the update, right? Because the AWP only has 5 bullets. You kind of want to have 5 bullets before getting into a main fight, which means now sacrificing all 5 of your bullets or not shooting through a smoke or something like that. You just have to be less risky when it comes to the AWP. The AWP rewards good aim, so I don't know if this was necessarily a good play, but it does set a stage for a new gun, right? That could be a nice place for a new gun to go. Maybe an in-between scout and AWP type thing, a little bit of a quicker rechamber time, upper chest, head, kill, 1 bullet at a time, single shot loaded, whatever that word is called, right? That way the reloading doesn't necessarily hurt any weapon now that we've gotten used to it. The one weapon that did verifiably get hurt by it, the AWP, now has a secondary option that doesn't require the investment game-wise, right? And on top of everything else happening, the major finishing up, people are playing the game, new season, season 5, cash. T-side was terrible at Cologne, a bunch of 10-2s, 11-1 games. A little bit of a cheaper option to have an AWP adjacent weapon in the game may actually help the T side more than the CT side. A CT may never need to buy that weapon because their economy is in a pretty good spot right now in terms of the game economy. And it's just simply been 8 years, right? You add a new skin, you add a new canvas for skins to be made on. The Scout's cool, but you don't get a ton of great Scout skins because the Scout is not the main sniper. The AWP is. The AWP will always be the main weapon, but AWP skins are also pretty expensive across the board. No matter really what AWP you get, it's pretty fucking expensive. Having one in the middle, that would take some of that money, bring it over there, allocate it over there. The market cap would probably stay the same. It's not like you're going to get new players because you added a new weapon into the game, but there will be money that people had in AWPs now being allocated towards a new weapon. And of course, it's a new weapon, so the new skins will be expensive for a longer amount of time as opposed to, you know, a new AWP or a new Scout or a new M249, whatever. The skins usually go down in price pretty quickly. This one will take a little bit longer because it's a newer weapon and thus less skins to choose from. And that's the biggest point. No one's going to download Counter-Strike because they added a new rifle into the game. So a new gun wouldn't necessarily help the market in terms of price movement upwards, right? Your market cap may stay the same. And by market cap, I mean total money in Counter-Strike skins, right? Let's say that's $1 million for sake of argument. If that $1 million is spread across 30 guns, however many weapons are in the game, well, now you have to spread it across 31 guns. And at the beginning, it's going to be a little bit more than its usual share of a weapon because it's new and it's going to be expensive. So a redistribution may hurt AWPs for sure. It may hurt Scouts, definitely. It may hurt some rifles, but probably less so. SMGs, not really. Knives and gloves, they're the most expensive things in the game. Therefore, you could sell it, buy a cheaper pair, and then buy whatever fucking new gun you get. Maybe it's like the fucking Moors from Advanced Warfare. Great gun. And like I said, it wouldn't bring back new players, but all players that are playing, the Armory that they made us wait 2 months for last chance, that'll be gone. The hype for the Armory will be right back, especially if the Armory is the only way in which to get this new weapon skin. You'd see the exact same frenzy from the exact same people that said they'll never buy an Armory pass ever again. So that's ultimately the prize from the market perspective, right? A new gun doesn't necessarily create more money, it doesn't create more players, but it does redistribute the wealth. It keeps the economy circulating in a healthy manner. Existing players are going to have more fun with the new weapon, right? We haven't had one in like 8 years at this point. And now that the reload update kind of hurt the AWP, it does have a space in the game. There is a reason to add a specific weapon that fills that specific niche, right? One shot, that's it, reload, rechamber, etc. If they did release a new weapon, and it would be when you rotate the Armory out so that you can have new skins for it, right? Every single new gun has dropped with some skins. The revolver came with the revolver case, the MP5, it came with the Danger Zone case, it even came with that souvenir Lab Rat skin. And the CZ75, it came in February 2014 with the CSGO weapon case number 3, which was the case that just featured pistols. So you would get cosmetics with a new weapon. So a new weapon would have to come with new cosmetics, and if the new cosmetics haven't come out and they're seemingly waiting for the new update, Season 5, well, that sets up the entire landscape, right? CSGO didn't operate in seasons, so you just kind of added the weapon whenever, maybe in some downtime between majors so that the pros can get used to it. At the start of Season 5, you are right after the Cologne Major, so you have the maximum amount of time between majors. The players are playing a new season, so you have a fresh slate, you have no new weapons to throw a wrench into things, right? And you don't want to throw a wrench into things. And I say that because Valve intentionally adds pretty broken shit to their games, right? The CZ and the R8, when they came out, if you were there, the R8 was a fucking crazy day. It was the Wild West, literally. Everyone used the R8 for an entire day because it was the best weapon in the game. It was like $800 or something, and it one-shot everybody. It could like collat 7 people. The CZ was pocket SMG. That's what it was called for a while. And when they were this good, it was easy for Valve to get data on them because everyone was using it for an entire day. The shitty players, the good players, the competitive players, everyone had to use it because it was the best weapon in the game. You couldn't ignore it. When the gun sucks like the MP5, you can't really do anything with it because you don't know how to finely tune it. So if you add a new weapon, the best thing to do is to make it kind of broken. The best time to do that would be at the start of a new season, such that it doesn't fuck up what's going on in the current season. This way you have all players playing it, their placement matches, so it doesn't really matter. You even have a little bit of a break between the seasons, right? If they added this weapon as soon as the Aphrodite left, you would have approximately 2 weeks for it to be used in a non-competitive setting if they cut Season 4 short just a little bit. Then you bring in Season 5, you add cash, you add your new weapon that's finely tuned now that you let people play with it, and it would be pretty good. Of course, that is pure speculation, but as we do approach a new season, there is always a way to play the market a little bit, and that's going to be buffs and nerfs, right? This is what we did last season with the MP7, right? I was hammering home the MP7 and the AUG because those seem like the 2 most likely candidates to be in the meta if anything happened to them, right? The MP9 got nerfed and the MP7 got buffed, so we did pretty well there because pretty much every MP7 went up in price across the board. The AUG not so much because the AUG didn't really get buffed. The AUG could perform better this time around as the reload update did hurt the M4A1S, which pretty much had a stranglehold on every single pro player. The AUG could make a comeback theoretically. Probably need a money update, right? Lowering that price just a tad. It still is a likely candidate. The CZ, probably not. It just sucks at this point in time. The 5.7 needs to get nerfed, which could help the CZ, or it could help the P250. Shotguns, probably not. Maybe a machine gun change with the new bullets. I don't know. I doubt it. Auto snipers, it's been a while. SG, FAMAS, maybe the SMGs get a little bit of a further nerf, which would help the FAMAS and Galil out a little bit. The AUG is still the play in my opinion. I'll probably buy AUGs before every update just because I think that eventually it'll be a meta gun and all the AUGs I have saved up in a storage unit will be worth something. So yes, I'm excited to see what happens, right? You could be hopeful about the Armory rotation being late, right? The Armory rotation is late, but it's lining up perfectly with that new season. So maybe we do get a new weapon. Maybe we do get new skins for that new weapon. And maybe it'll be all right. Don't stress. Cheers.